Hello everyone, wakey wakey. Um, as you just said, I'm Franck COUTELLE, one of the co-founder of NEWEAVER, and I'm also the last speaker of the day. So after that, we will all be able to take a shower or go swimming, but being wet for a good reason. So I'll try to do my best to be quick and efficient. So what is NEWEAVER? NEWEAVER is a young startup created last year, and we are a producer of fungal chitosan. But first of all, did you know that 64% of consumers are trying to have a positive impact on their environment when they are buying everything every day? And more specifically in cosmetics, 60% of women check labels before purchase, and 76% of the consumer have a problem when there are polychemical ingredients in the product, which means that the ingredients in those products are very important for the consumer. That's why in NEWEAVER we choose chitosan. So chitosan is a biopolymer, a polysaccharide. It's natural, biodegradable, non-toxic. It has many properties and it can be used in many subjects. I just put some few examples, like in food processing in the wine, it can be a flocculant. In biomedical, it can be used to heal. In pharmaceutical, it can be used in adjuvant for vaccines. In cosmetic, it can be an hydrating agent. In nutraceutical, it can be a fat catcher. And in biotechnology, it can be an enzymatic support. So the main offer today of chitosan, it's from animal origin, more specifically in shellfish, which has some problems with the regulatory, as someone just speak about before, and also with the fishing quotas. It may be the presence of allergens and a biomass viability because it's from the sea and we cannot control it. So from the shellfish, we do not extract chitosan, we extract chitin. Then we have to do a chemical process. So it's a very energy intensive process. It's risky for technicians and it may deteriorate the molecule. And at the end, and the formulation is a bit complex. That's why there are few commercial products with it, and that's why we would like to work with the company to make it easier. So our solution is to produce chitosan from mushrooms. They are non-animal, they are renewable, and they are controllable. So our technology is to using solid state fermentation. So we use the byproducts from the agricultural biomass. We put it in a tank and then we put our mushroom on it. When the mushroom growing up, we take the mushroom and we extract the chitosan from the mushrooms. And after that also there is purification to do. So there is a market, there is a need, and there is an alternative solution. The chitosan market in 2015, it was a production of 3,000 tons, and the demand was 40,000 tons, which is a huge gap. And just to let you know, there are in those different applications, the price of the molecule can be very different, but it depends on the characteristic of the molecule also, of course. So our target market, as I said, there are many markets, but we'd like to target the cosmetic. As I said, it's also an anti-wrinkle and moisturizing agent and an anti-redness. And in biomedical, it can be used, as I said before, as vaccines or in artificial organs. So we can see that the market is growing. For 8 years, it was for the biomedical around $2 million, the market. And in 2024, it might be $8 billion. The same for the cosmetic and for the other, all of them are growing up. So our market for NEWEAVER. So we are Kite producer to B2B. So we sell our product to the buyer of raw materials in cosmetic, pharmaceutical, biomedical, and others. We are very open to work with any market. This is, for example, for the final client like L'Oréal, Sensient, Sanofi, etc. So our difference with the shellfish, it's like, as I said, non-animal. We control the production because we growing up our own mushrooms, and we are developing a green technique of extraction. Our main competitor, even if it's not a real competitor for us, but is COUTELLE, a Belgian company. But they are doing also chitosan with mushrooms, but they don't produce their own mushrooms, so they cannot control it, and they are, as far as I know, not using green extraction. There are also another startup in Canada which is called Mycodev Group, and which produce also chitosan with mushrooms, but in submerged fermentation. So just to let you know, because we are a startup, about our team, we are 4. So me, there is also Kevin Blanchard, our R&D responsible, which is also a project manager at Sanofi. There is Jonathan Baudin, our strategic monitoring, which is also a project manager in innovation medtech in Alsace Bio Valley. And there is Robin Godard, which is also here today, our business developer, which is also a research engineer at NEWEAVER Business School. So very often people tell to us that we are a bit young, so that's why we have also an advisory board. Maybe some of you know some of them. There is Dominique de Tartre, the president of ID Champagne-Ardenne, and also the co-founder and the ex-president of Pôle IAR, which is a competitiveness cluster, industry and agro-resource. There is also Bernard Marie, the ex-chief operating officer at Crédit Agricole, the bank, which was also a co-founder and ex-president of Pôle IAR. And there is also Francis Duchiron, a solid-state fermentation specialist in France, which is now retired, but we keep in touch, and who was a professor emeritus at the Science University in Reims. So to let you know where we are, as I said, we created the company last year, just after 6 months of R&D. We worked with the Cher ABI, Biotechnology Industrial, in the CEBB, in Pomac-Bazancourt, close to Reims. So we worked with them and we did our proof of concept. But now that it's done, we need to do some other stuff like put our first patent, redo some R&D for optimization, to test our repeatability, and to get our first commercial samples. So we estimated between 2017 and 2019. After that, we'd like to have our commercial exploitation, but first we need to do our toxicology test. And then after, we'd like to put it on the market. And after that, so we would like to do it by subcontracting. And after that, we'd like to create our own factory for our industrial production. So just to let you know about our patent, I just said before, we are working on a patent, but today we are not have one yet. But don't worry, it's coming soon. And our financial needs, just to let you know where we are. So, as I say, we finish our first research program. After that, we have to do our scale-up and our second R&D program, which we estimate is around 700,000 euro. And after our commercial exploitation, around 1.2 billion. And after that, for the company, around 4 to 7 million. That's why today we need to find funds. That's why we're doing a fundraising. That's why we are looking also for partnership, for co-working and co-development. And we are very open to all the opportunity that we can have or you may apport to us. And that's it. Thank you for your attention.